When we study the Korean War, we often focus on strategy, firepower, and political consequences, but one of the war's most overlooked threats was the environment itself. Soldiers stationed in remote outposts faced extreme cold, limited supplies, and unpredictable terrain that turned logistical shortcomings into life-or-death challenges. Many modern histories gloss over the improvisation required to survive, yet these lessons about preparation, adaptability, and resourcefulness are directly relevant for anyone thinking about survival in 2026. The tools and techniques that allowed soldiers to endure these conditions often had their roots in much older military traditions. One of the most striking examples comes from the Roman legions, ancient soldiers whose gear and training illustrate principles modern preppers often overlook. If you value practical historical lessons and want to bridge the gap between past and present survival strategies, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom. This channel focuses on tools, techniques, and decisions that endured for centuries because they worked. Roman soldiers carried a surprisingly compact set of tools that allowed them to build, survive, and fight under harsh conditions. The Legionary kit was designed with extreme versatility in mind. Each implement served multiple purposes. The dolabra, a pickaxe-like tool, could be used for digging fortifications, chopping wood, or even defending oneself in close combat. A whetstone maintained the edge on swords and knives. Small cooking utensils and containers allowed soldiers to prepare food and manage water. Hygiene implements like the strigil helped reduce disease, which often claimed more lives than enemy action. Every item in a legionary's pack was selected for its durability, adaptability, and relevance to survival. Modern preppers often carry elaborate gadgets, but history demonstrates that multifunctional, well-understood tools are far more reliable than specialized equipment that depends on constant resupply. The Roman emphasis on camp construction teaches a lesson modern preppers often ignore. Legionaries were trained to erect fortified encampments every night, regardless of the terrain or weather. These camps included trenches, palisades, and watchtowers, all constructed with hand tools carried in the soldier's kit. Camps were not just defensive, they organized logistics, allowed for rest, and provided sanitation facilities, which directly affected health and combat readiness. The lesson for preppers is clear. A single tool is only as useful as the knowledge and discipline applied to it. Owning equipment without the ability to use it effectively in construction, fortification, or shelter building reduces preparedness to theory rather than practice. Health and hygiene were central to the Roman soldiers' survival toolkit. Disease was often a greater threat than battle. Legionaries carried strigils to clean themselves, oil to protect skin, and simple containers for water storage. They routinely maintained weapons and tools to prevent rust and breakage. These practices ensured that soldiers could operate for extended campaigns without succumbing to preventable illnesses. Modern preppers can draw a direct lesson. Small routines of maintenance, sanitation, and care for personal and equipment hygiene can have outsized effects on survival in austere conditions. The dolabra demonstrates the value of multifunctionality in extreme environments. Beyond digging or chopping, it could clear obstacles, assist in emergency repairs, or provide self-defense. Its presence meant that a single tool could perform tasks that might otherwise require multiple implements, reducing weight and increasing mobility. For preppers in 2026, this principle remains critical. Every tool carried should serve multiple purposes. Overloading a kit with specialized items risks inefficiency, whereas thoughtfully chosen multifunctional tools maximize resilience and autonomy. Water and fire management were central to survival, and Roman soldiers understood this intimately. Legionaries carried lightweight buckets and containers for water, as well as portable cooking tools to heat meals and purify liquids. Fire was essential not only for warmth and food, but also for signaling and hygiene. These capabilities were embedded in daily routines, ensuring that soldiers were never caught unprepared. Modern survivalists can adopt the same mindset. Basic skills in water collection, purification, cooking, and fire maintenance are far more foundational than the latest high-tech gear. Standardization amplified the effectiveness of Roman tools and training. Legionaries were taught to use the same implements, to build and fight using consistent techniques, and to maintain gear according to uniform protocols. This meant that soldiers could function seamlessly in unfamiliar terrain or under new commanders. For preppers, the lesson is to practice consistently with the tools you carry, develop routines for their use, and understand how they interact with both environment and group dynamics. Knowledge and familiarity often outweigh sheer quantity or sophistication of gear. Maintenance of tools and equipment was a constant priority. Legionaries routinely sharpened blades, repaired leather and oiled metal. Weapons and tools that were neglected could fail at the most critical moment. The same principle applies to modern preppers. Maintaining the functionality of tools and equipment is as important as having them in the first place. Historical precedent reminds us that longevity and reliability are achieved through attention practice and an understanding of material limitations. Mobility influenced the choice of gear and can inform contemporary preparedness strategies. Roman soldiers carried tools that were lightweight, robust, and adaptable. Every ounce mattered because long marches were part of daily life. Similarly, anyone preparing for self-sufficiency or survival must balance utility with weight. Carrying every conceivable tool may seem comprehensive, but mobility and ease of use often determine the difference between sustained operation and exhaustion. Efficiency in tool selection enhances both endurance and resilience. Roman practices reveal the connection between tools, strategy, and human endurance. Soldiers were trained to construct fortifications, manage resources, and maintain health, all of which directly influenced combat readiness. Survival was inseparable from operational effectiveness. Preppers can draw the same lesson. The mere presence of tools is insufficient. Understanding how to use them in context, whether for shelter, water procurement, or defense, is what enables sustained survival in complex or austere environments. The lesson of Roman gear extends to modern logistical thinking. Each tool in a legionary's kit was chosen to meet both predictable and unforeseen challenges: digging, chopping, cooking, maintaining hygiene, or defending oneself. Modern preppers can adopt the same mindset, assess likely scenarios, prioritize multifunctional solutions, and integrate tools into daily routines to build both proficiency and confidence. Roman history demonstrates that foresight, disciplined use, and adaptability often determine success far more than technology alone. Remembering the practical tools of the Roman legion matters, because survival is fundamentally pragmatic. While modern preppers may focus on gadgets, electronics, or elaborate supplies, history shows that durability, versatility, and consistent practice with simple tools form the foundation of resilience. The legionary kit was not technologically advanced, but its principles endure: multifunctionality, portability, reliability, and disciplined use. By studying these lessons, we gain insight into human ingenuity, preparedness, and the strategies that allowed soldiers to thrive under extreme conditions. If this exploration of Roman legionary tools resonates with you, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom and share this video. By examining history through the lens of survival and practical innovation, we uncover lessons that remain relevant in 2026 and beyond. Understanding how ordinary soldiers endured extraordinary circumstances teaches us not only about the past, but also about how to endure, adapt, and prepare for challenges we may face today.